I stand before you today, an imperfect leader from a complex post-conflict society on a continent of uneven progress and during a time of global uncertainties. As I look toward my twilight years and my closing chapter of restlessness, I would like to leave with you some of the lessons that the Liberian people have taught me, as well as their implications for the consolidation of democracy on the continent. Liberia's progression toward democratic values, as exemplified by the successful 2018 transition, is reflective of Africa's quest for democracy. It is a continuum of the continent's struggle for liberation and freedom. As Nelson Mandela said in March of 1991, I belong to the generation of leaders for whom the achievement of democracy was the defining challenge. Trends remain encouraging as young people empowered by education and technology demand their rights to be heard and to be listened to. Africa's evolution illustrates the strong causal effects between democracy and development. Afrobarometer finds that 7 out of 10 Africans believe democracy is preferable to all other forms of government. A number of countries, so many of our countries on the continent, including Ghana, Gambia, Senegal, Nigeria, Benin, Malawi, Botswana, Namibia, Kenya, Lesotho, Tanzania, Cote d'Ivoire, all have conducted free and fair elections belonging to a peaceful transition of power. And within democracies, political parties are self-correcting, as recently witnessed in South Africa. We also celebrate Sierra Leone, Liberia's neighbor, who this month completed a hotly contested presidential election. Like Liberia, Ghana, Nigeria, the incumbent political power ceded power peacefully to the opposition. Still, Africa's progress is filled with imperfections, and too many nations lag behind. Several continue to practice managed democracy void of real competition. Others cling to power for decades, deaf to the cries of their population for change, and too often, there's a violent rejection of election results. Political parties are organized by patronage and patriarchy. For most of them, democracy is practiced during the campaign cycle, but not necessarily within the party itself. This historical inequity is reinforced by a lack of campaign finance laws, which disproportionately prevent women and youth, two already disadvantaged groups, from taking on leadership role in political discourse, leaving the party apparatus to well-established economic and political cartels. In Africa, we tend to focus on elections, celebrate them as the milestone, but it is often said, elections do not a democracy make. We must look behind the process and examine the barriers that shut down competition before the campaign starts. Notwithstanding, I am convinced that these tendencies will not last, that our continent and other continents will continue the unstoppable march toward participatory democracy. We must identify the barriers to entry in political society and break them down one by one. Democracy must evolve from a single event into the institutionalization of a process that provides access to all its participants. We must look anew, not just as respecting constitutional term limits, but adjusting our Constitution to address campaign finance laws, to encourage the participation of women and the engagement of youth, and to strengthen the civil society.